Thank you, everybody. Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing tonight? Tim, I was voted the most personable guy in 7th grade. You left that out. Raul, I looked at your photo over here. I think it's been photoshopped. And what's up with his hair? I'm always interested in hair. It's really high tonight, isn't it? Man. And then he said he looks like $1 million, and they said, I think he looks like $2.5 million. Don't you think? I've got some notes here. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Cattlemen's. No, that was last week. That was last week for IFAS. Let me get my real notes out. Raul, you took at least a page and a half of my notes, but I'm glad you did because you delivered it better than I could. Isn't he awesome? Give him a round of applause. He was our second choice for president even, too. Wow. I think you're going to do quite well, though. A little bit more mentoring and coaching. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, let me join Danita and Raul and Jason and many of you to the University of Florida. It is great to be a Florida Gator, isn't it? Oh, yeah. I tell you this, there's not a better time to be a Florida Gator than now. The stars have aligned for us. The governor actually gets it. He gets it now. And he has joined with President Machen, with our Board of Governors, with our Board of Trustees, with our university leadership, with our alumni, with our friends to move the University of Florida among the very, very best public research universities in the country. Yeah, isn't that awesome? So it gives me great pleasure tonight to be able to present the Gold Standard Award to an individual who has achieved unparalleled success. His contributions are at the highest level at the University of Florida, and he embodies and exemplifies the gold standard of the Gator Nation. This year's recipient has been instrumental in advancing the University of Florida in its quest to become the preeminent flagship university in the state of Florida. We've been working on this a long time, and now it's actually being recognized and acknowledged. The preeminent initiative has been underway for some time, and this year's recipient's commitment and dedication over these years behind the scenes has helped position UF among the very best. This year we honor and present this award to a gentleman we all know and love, our Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Joe Glover. A round of applause. Enough, that's enough. You guys didn't give me that much applause, and then you give Joe a little bit more. Dr. Glover's career at the University of Florida began in 1983, and as you'll hear in a moment, this gentleman has not been able to keep a job. He has led the university in many capacities, including the chair of mathematics department, the Associate Dean of Faculty Affairs in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, the Interim Dean of College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, the Associate Provost for Academic Affairs, the Interim Provost for Academic Affairs, and since July of 2008, he has served as the Provost and Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs. With all jokes aside, I think most of you would agree, this is increased levels of responsibilities and multiple success. Please. I could go on and on about his awards, fellowship awards, teaching awards, mentoring awards, research awards, and it can go on and on and on. But in essence of time, thank you, Dr. Glover, for all you have done for the University of Florida and all that you continue to do. You are, in fact, the example of the Golden Gator and the gold standard. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in standing and welcome the very best provost in the country, Dr. Joe Glover.
Yes, yes, it is pointy. Thank you so much, Tom. Butter would not melt in your mouth. I would just like to thank you. This is really a little bit too much, but I do appreciate this. I just want to emphasize that everything that has been done really is President Machin's vision for this university. And Tom was, it was done in a jocular manner, but Tom is not kidding when he says this is absolutely going to be a fantastic year for the University of Florida. Absolutely. This is going to be the best year in a long, long time. And the only thing that gives me pause is the notion that I followed Tom getting the Golden Gator Award. I'm not sure what that says, but I do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Gators. So I bet all of you who have been with us since Thursday think I'm going to say, everybody get up, right? So it is really great to be a Florida Gator. I know I speak for all of you when I say just how wonderful it is for us to be at the university at this point in its history when, as Tom said, the stars are aligned for our greatness to come true. So I'm blessed to be here as your alumni director. My husband and I, Michael, if you haven't met him, Michael, please stand up quickly. Just say hello to everybody. Yeah. We love the University of Florida, and I believe I could have gone here and hung with all of you. I could have stayed at the Swamp with you many of times, but anyway, we love being here, and thank you for your service, for helping us to strengthen the Gator Nation and helping us to make this Alumni Association the kind of entity that the University of Florida deserves. It is now my honor to recognize the University of Florida Alumni Association's Distinguished Alumni Professor. Dr. Mark Gold is serving as the 17th Distinguished Alumni Professor. This Alumni Association started this program in 1979. I believe I was a junior in college at that time. And at that time, the thinking of the alumni volunteers was, we need to elect or select a faculty member who embodies the academic mission of the University of Florida and use that scholar's expertise and research in our programming. And I am proud to say that that program continues today. The Distinguished Alumni Professor is nominated by students, by faculty, by community members of the Gator Nation, and their mission is to help the Alumni Association infuse the university's academic mission in its programming. And we couldn't be luckier, I couldn't be luckier to start my career at the University of Florida to serve alongside Dr. Mark Gold. So if you look at Dr. Gold, and if you understand the body of his work, without question, he embodies the academic mission that is the University of Florida. For those of you who are not familiar with Dr. Gold's work, simply put, he is a pleasure researcher. He has spent more than 40 years trying to understand the effects of tobacco on the brain, food on the brain, drugs on the brain, and even the effect of sex on the brain. His work is transformational. His models have led to the discovery of new treatments for addiction, and he's just simply put a rock star. Those Gator clubs that have invited him out, you all know what I'm talking about. He's amazing. He's amazing because he's just brilliant. He earned his Bachelor's of Science from Washington University in St. Louis. He got his doctorate from UF, so he's a Gator by degree. Yes, indeed. He did his residency in psychiatry at that little school in Connecticut. I think it's called Yale University is where you did that. And he's a wonderful human being. And as he said today in his presentation, he does this for the love of the University of Florida. Dr. Gold, would you please join me on the stage? So, no, not yet. Not yet, but we can hug. We can always hug. So as a part of Dr. Gold's installation, we are presenting him tonight with the Distinguished Alumni Professor Medallion. This medallion symbolizes academic rigor, dedication to the pursuit of scholarship at the University of Florida, and his Gator's commitment to a lifelong learning. It is my pleasure and my privilege to present you with the Distinguished Alumni Professor Medal.
It's the right color.
It is the right color. And Dr. Gold will wear this when he speaks at your events and at our exercises. We're not done. So please join me in congratulating Dr. Mark S. Gold.
Please. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I have no prepared remarks, which is always good for a distinguished professor, because otherwise we would talk forever. I want to thank you for that and for everything. And for the Alumni Association, you don't know how important it was for me to be named the Distinguished UF Alumni Association Professor. In my own house, I have my son Kyle and my wife Janice, and I'll tell you a quick story which is absolutely true, and they'll verify this. You know, I'm fortunate to be here and have a bright academic career and to be awarded a variety of awards like all the professors are here in their professional societies and medical societies, and even for me in the Chinese Academy of Sciences. But when I went on this journey with you, they called me in my box and said to me, can you please come down to the field? And I went to the field, and with my dean, Mike Good, and Danita Nias, they put my name in the stadium, and I was sitting on the 50-yard line, and I came back to the seats, and my wife says to me, you didn't tell me this was a real award. She said, like, she wouldn't go to the Chinese Academy of Sciences, but all of a sudden, in my family, I had assumed heroic proportions because I got an award and was recognized in the swamp on the field. So. It meant a lot to me and my family, and the chance to serve again means a lot. And there are probably a few Gator clubs that I haven't gotten to. I hear that I'm going to Vero Beach, and I hear that I'm going to Atlanta, and exactly. And you know, it's been wonderful for me to get out and about and to be able to meet people and represent the university and the academic mission. And for me to have a dean like Mike Good that thinks this is part of my job at the University of Florida. So let me just thank him for allowing me the time to do this. So thanks everybody for giving me the chance to be a big man at home.
Thank you, Dr. Gold. I know I speak for the entire board when I say how thrilled we are to be able to serve alongside you, a Gator great. Thank you.
To close our awards, I'd now like to recognize our Gator of the Year. The Gator of the Year recognizes a member of the Alumni Association who exemplifies the passion of the Gator Nation. This year, we are honored to recognize Danny Ponce. Danny received his undergraduate in business from UF in 1970 and received his law degree from UF in 1973. While a student, he held virtually every student leadership position there was on campus. He has gone on to be a prominent lawyer and has also held virtually every significant alumni leadership position there is, from being president of the Alumni Association to being appointed by the governor as a member of the Board of Trustees. I got to know Danny as an undergraduate in the early 1990s, and I wasn't the only undergraduate that Danny got to know. What stands out to me about Danny is that as a prominent alumni, he took the time to get to know and mentor undergraduate students. And I think that says a lot. That says a lot about Danny. Some of you have heard me say this before, but in order to have a great institution, you need to have ambitious leaders, and leaders that are not ambitious about themselves, but ambitious about their institution. And there is no question that Danny Ponce is ambitious about the University of Florida, and we are lucky to have him under our tent. Please join me in welcoming Danny Ponce.
Thank you for not letting Tim come up here and present this to me, because I think between Alan and you and Jason, you're going to have a tough night, big guy. You know, this is a labor of love, and it's been a long, long time and many, many years, and I think a lot of you know that we have a big Gator family, but I want to mention one special member of our Gator family here, my twin sister, Carol. Stand up. So in 1966, when we were seniors in high school, the then University of Florida Alumni Association in Greater Miami gave Carol and I each a full academic scholarship for 1 year to the University of Florida. They gave her $250, and they gave me $250, because back then tuition was $125 a semester. They also gave then Bull Gator, the real Bull Gator, Ray Graves, a brand new Cadillac for being the head coach of the University of Florida football team. Some things just quite never change, right? But from that beginning, and I think we were probably maybe the 5th or 6th or 7th members of our family to attend the university. They're now over 50. Some of you may have seen an article in last November's Gator magazine that took a picture of all of us, and there we were. But it's a big, big Gator family. We love this place. And it's not me that started it. It's my dad, our uncles, our aunts, our parents, our cousins, and the whole family. So, and then about 13 and a half years ago, this beautiful woman here, who's my wife, Nancy, decided that we needed to live here. We just couldn't commute back and forth to Miami anymore. So we bought a beautiful home here, and we've been living in Gainesville for 13 and a half years. So we're blessed for that. But you know, you guys are inspiring what you've accomplished. I can remember in 1981 when we came up with the idea of the Gator clubs instead of the idea of alumni associations all over the place. I can remember when we started the idea of having athletics and academics together under one roof. And, you know, here we are so many years later. And it's working. And, you know, you all are a testament to a lot of people. I mean, I'll throw myself in there for just a little bit of it, but just the vision of what this could be, because back then it just wasn't. I mean, when I was president of the Alumni Association in 1984-85, we had less than $100 million in the foundation endowment. Think where it is today, north of $1 billion, $5 billion, $3 billion. Tom, how big is it? Just gone. He's gone? Mr. Provost? Yes, sir. How much is it? $1 billion? Whatever you say. Okay. He doesn't get shot. $1.7 billion. Thank you, Mr. Board of Governors. But anyway, the growth of it, what it's become, what you all have made it be, what people before you have, and more importantly, the people after you. You know, getting to know Jason as a student, he was General Chairman Homecoming 20 years after I was. When I celebrated my 40th anniversary of being General Chairman Homecoming, he celebrated his 20th. To getting to know Alan, to get to know Tim, to get to know Raul. It's important, and make sure you do that. Make sure you get to know the students. We're here about the students. We're not for us, it's for them. So thank you so much for this award. On behalf of my family, on behalf of our friends, we love being Gators. We'll always be Gators, and God bless. Go Gators. Let's beat Toledo tomorrow.